friends, hello book besties. It's your girl Erica, aka PaperbackGirly, and today I have a bit of a fun recommendation video for you guys today. I haven't done a recommendation video since February, and I thought, why not switch it up a little bit and share with you guys 5 books that I cannot stop thinking about. These are 5 books that I am just so obsessed with. They're still in the back of my mind. Every single book that I have read gets compared to these books. If you're new here on my channel, these might be new recommendations for you, and if you're not, you may have heard me talk about these in other videos. I also want to share with you guys some Kindle Unlimited romance recs that I'm either really excited to get to, really enjoyed, or just have been catching my eye, and so I want to share all of those things with you guys today. First, I will go ahead and start off by sharing with you guys some Kindle Unlimited romances that I am just so excited to get to. I've been on my radar, I have them downloaded in my Kindle library, and I'm just waiting to get through other books to get to these particular ones. First one is In a Jam by Kate Canterbury, and I've heard good and bad things about this book, but I think that it gives such good spring vibes. The main protagonist, I think her name is Shay, she gets left a tulip farm, or like a family flower farm that her grandma left in her name. In order to fully inherit the farm, she has to move in to the farm and also get married as well. So there's a little bit of marriage of convenience, and so I really want to get into that book because I heard it's like a cute small town romance book, and the fact that she lives on a tulip farm, I think that's beautiful. That's giving springtime vibes. Am I not? Am I not right? Garnet Flats by Devney Perry is the next book that I am to read in the Eden series, but I cannot recommend enough the Eden series. If you haven't read Indigo Ridge yet, please do. That's my literal favorite book so far in this series. It packs such a punch. I've literally raved about it in countless videos in my past. Like, I cannot get over this book as well. This is another book that has just been in the back of my mind. I have the physical copy actually right here. Indigo Ridge. Garnet Flats is the next book in that series that I am very excited to get to. I think that the fine print or the Dreamland Billionaire series is not 100% for me in terms of like the writing style. Things can get a little bit repetitive, but I completely understand the hype around this book series. The fine print is a book that I really enjoyed for the theme park vibes. There were some tropes that weren't my favorite in that book, but I do get the hype around the series. So right now I'm currently reading the second book, which is Terms and Conditions. I think I'm connecting to Terms and Conditions a little bit more. I think that the banter between the two characters is nice. The sort of marriage of convenience aspect of it right now is doing it for me. I'm liking it, but it is a little bit slow. I don't know. I just don't know if Lauren Asher's writing style is for me. Lastly, from Kindle Unlimited, I am very excited to get to the Playing for Keeps series, I believe it's called. Consider Me and Play With Me are the 2 books in the series, and I believe it is an NHL hockey romance as well. So I'm really excited to get into the Playing for Keeps series because I've heard nothing but amazing things about it. Now I'm going to be getting into the 5 books that I cannot stop thinking about. Like, I literally cannot stop thinking about these books. These are 5-star reads for me, and if they're not 5-star reads, they're like 4.5 or 4.75. like, they're right up there for me, okay? These books have me in a chokehold. They have altered my brain chemistry, and they have changed the way I think about books, okay? And as dramatic as that sounds, that's fine, because these books truly deserve that hype. Okay, well, I will say there's one book in this stack I wasn't a huge fan of, but I would recommend. So I did just tell a little white lie. There is one book in here. I did not see it at first. The first book that I am just so... A Love Letter to Whiskey by Candy Steiner. This book is so beautiful. It is poetic, it is lyrical, it has some of the best quotes, and I think it is the top book of the year for me so far. I ate this book up. This book had me on the floor, squealing, crying, laughing. It was just perfect. This is about Jamie and B. So Jamie is B's best friend's boyfriend, and we find out right away that she almost falls in love with him at first sight, but he kind of falls in love with her best friend at first sight. So she's harboring these feelings, and we follow throughout the years of this friendship to lovers type story, okay? The way that this book made me feel, I can't even like properly describe it, and I really want more people to read this book. Larry Reed has been considering picking this book up. I've been seeing more people pick this book up on Bookstagram, and it makes me so happy to see others who are loving this book. This is literally one of my favorite books of all time. Literally. Is it for everyone? No. And please don't get intimidated by the size. This is actually 2 books in one. Candy Steiner released the 5th anniversary edition, so A Love Letter to Whiskey is the OG book, and then the second book in this is Love Whiskey, which is Jamie's reply to B. So it's basically like Jamie wrote this letter, she wrote this book, and we're reading this letter in this book that she wrote and she has published. And then Jamie reads the book that she's published and then responds to it with Love Whiskey. It is so good. Please get your hand on this book. It is on Kindle Unlimited if you do have Kindle Unlimited. Whenever I read this in the end of January, it was still on Kindle Unlimited. So if it's there, get your hands on it. And if it's not, still get your hands on it. Like if you take anything, if you take a single recommendation from this video, let it be this one. And then if it's not for you, then maybe my book recommendations aren't for you, because I'm a toxic romance girly, unfortunately. So this is the one book that wasn't a huge favorite, but I would recommend to people. Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. I think that this book is good. This was an average 3.5 star read for me, and all I can say is that it was a little bit better than an average book. I think that the spice in here was great. I think that the storyline though was a little bit boring. I'm not even sure I really truly remember everything that happens with like the actual plot line of the story, but there is a trope in here where the main girl, I think her name is Hallie, she is writing these like anonymous letters to the male protagonist, and they're writing kind of back and forth together, but then they're also becoming closer as friends and then start sparking a romantic connection in person. The guy doesn't know that he's like writing letters to this girl. Sometimes with this trope, it can be misinterpreted really fast. And for example, there was a part where it's almost like she is suggesting that he pursue things with her without directly saying it. Like indirectly suggesting like, oh, like you should take chances in your life, or just like saying things that like end up sparking him to take action. And I feel like there's just like a little bit of like disingenuousness. Wait, what's the word? Disingenuousness? I don't know, but I would recommend it. And here I am recommending it to you. This is also a new release. She is actually like a gardener or like a florist or something. Like she does landscapes and curates landscapes for people. And so I think that gives really good spring vibes. And this takes place in Napa Valley. So there is a lot of like winery vibes. They're drinking wine a lot. I think that the main guy, he owns a winery himself. So there's just like a lot of good vibes in this book, and it's definitely giving springtime. Flawless by Elsie Silver is another book that I think is on Kindle Unlimited. So I think from here on out, all of these books will be on Kindle Unlimited as well, which is why I chose to do the other Kindle Unlimited recommendations as well. But Flawless by Elsie Silver is such a good book. It pulled me out of my book slump. Thankfully, I was in a really bad book slump at the end of February, and I just was not ready. I was not in the mood to read, okay? And I picked up this book. It started off slow. I was like, oh no, here we go. Another average read. It flipped the script on me, okay? I didn't know I was here for cowboy romances as much as I'm here for hockey romances, but sign me up, okay? I connected so much with these characters. Oh my god. Okay, so this is about Rhett and Summer. Summer is Rhett's PR agent's daughter. Something happens with Rhett's image where something happens like bad in the media, and so she is sent by her dad to go like whip his image into shape. Just kind of keep an eye on him, make sure that he's not getting himself into trouble with the media anymore. And slowly but surely they kind of like spark a little bit of a friendship together, and that turns into a mutual respect that forms into a powerful love in between the both of them. And I think what I love so much about it is how mature these characters are. I think that even though we get like new adult books, sometimes the characters can have very emotionally irrational decision making or coping mechanisms or lack of communication skills. And I think that with this, these two characters were so mature in their own right, and they were able to not only allow each other to be themselves, but to facilitate positive environment to feel comfortable to fully be themselves as well. And so they kind of become each other's home in a way, and I loved it so stinking much. Oh my goodness gracious me, I cannot wait to continue on in this series. I have Heartless, which is the second book in this series, already downloaded on my Kindle, and it's sitting also on my physical TBR cart. This is another really great book, and I think that you would like it. If you have joined my Bookish Bestie fam in the last like month, you would know how obsessed I am with these next two books. Mile High by Liz Tomford. Now, I know this isn't for everyone. I know a lot of people watch Sarah Caroli, and I think she actually just DNF'd this book or like couldn't find herself getting through it. It is a longer book, but for me, oh my goodness, I ate this book the heck up. I cannot explain it enough how this book made me feel. So this is about Xanders and Stevie. Xanders is a professional NHL hockey player. He plays on this like Chicago NHL team, and Stevie is the flight attendant or a flight attendant on the private jet that the team flies on. Xanders is kind of known in the media to be a like bad boy player. He's got it, you know, going on the ice as well as with the ladies. He is the player of the city's bad boy. And so he tries to like, you know, throw his moves on Stevie, and Stevie, she's got her own. Okay, so she doesn't need all the bullshit, the BS. And so she kind of doesn't really give in to the temptation. He's obviously attractive, but like, come on, just because you say a couple smooth words doesn't mean you got it like that, right? I think that the banter between the two characters is so fresh and fun, and I think that the way it develops into something that's so significant, it did it for me. It absolutely did it for me. At the end of it, I was just so hooked. There's like a bunch of different characters that you meet throughout the books, and it sets up a bunch of books as well. So this is going to be an entire series. The third book is also in the works to be released rather soon. I think it's coming out later on this year. This book was amazing. The main character, Stevie, is a mixed girl, so I was able to relate to that side of her so much, and she's also very passionate about a lot of different things. She's headstrong. She's willing to face things head on. She's not afraid to stick up for herself. She also deals with a little bit of body image, like low self-esteem towards her body image. I think that the way that the author deals with that as well is very subtle, but also very profound in a way that is not so in your face. Like, this is not the only thing that defines Stevie, is her insecurities about her body. It's like there were so many different complexities to her character that I felt like these people were real people in this book. Like, I really thought I was reading an expose piece on like two real couples this series so far. And so the second book is The Right Move, and I don't talk about it much on my channel, but I was a basketball player for like 16 years of my life. It was a big part of my life for a very long time. And so this is a basketball romance between Stevie's brother Ryan and Stevie's best friend Indy, who is also a flight attendant on the same airline as Stevie. And so The Right Move is about Ryan and Indy. Indy has found out that her long-term boyfriend of like 6 or 7 years cheated on her and left her, basically. And it's kind of devastating, but she's willing, or she's able to like put up a brave face and kind of continue on with her life even though it like literally just happened. She's found herself out of a place to like live, honestly, because she doesn't want to live with her ex anymore, and she lives in Chicago. She has to stay in Chicago for her job, so she can't go back home. And so Stevie ends up asking Ryan if she can move in, and Ryan is never home because he plays in the NBA, so the apartment is for the most part empty. Says, all right, like, I'll help you out, don't worry about it. She offers to pay rent. He gives her like a discount on rent or whatever, and at first they don't really get along. Like, they kind of are stark contrasts of each other. I think that Ryan is very type A and Indy is very like go with the flow, colorful, expressive, creative, and Ryan's more like analytical, methodical, like he likes things to be done a certain way. At first they kind of butt heads a bit. They don't really get along much, but there is this slight tension between each other because they're both very attractive people, and they notice that they are both attracted to each other. And then there's this like element of fake dating that comes in because Ryan is the captain of his basketball team, and so his manager doesn't really think that, like the team manager doesn't really think that like he's fully capable and or ready to like lead the team to a final and to a championship. And the reason is that he doesn't really have any like connections. He's not really able to connect with people. He's not very empathetic, and even though Ryan is able to get it done on the court, it's easy to see that like his relationships with his teammates are strictly business. The element of fake dating comes in because he tells his manager that, oh wait, I actually do have a girlfriend, you just haven't seen her yet. So it starts this whole other part of the story. This book definitely started off a bit slow for me, and I think it was just because I was coming off of the high of reading Mile High. It did it for me as well. This was also another 5-star read, and I cannot recommend this enough. I cannot recommend this author enough. Literally one of my top 5 favorite authors right now. I hope you enjoyed today's video and that you maybe got a couple of good book recommendations to add to your own TBR. I'm having an amazing time reading right now. I mean, I'm just finding so many great books. I am keeping things fresh. I'm feeling inspired and motivated to think of different video ideas, and it just feels good. It feels good to be like on a positive upswing with my reading right now, because you know, whenever you're in that reading slump, whenever you're down in the ditch, it doesn't feel good. Reading brings me joy, and so if reading's not bringing me joy, I'm just not happy, you know? I'm really not happy. These are the books that I've recommended to you guys today. Again, a majority of these books are also on Kindle Unlimited. 4 out of the 5 are on Kindle Unlimited. With that being said, I thank you guys so much for spending some time with me today, listening to me recommend you some books, and hopefully in the future we will have more book recommendation videos. Leave a comment down below if you have any specific types of recommendation videos that you particularly like to look for. If you found some good book recommendations or anything that you might like, leave this emoji in the comments down below just so your girl knows. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.